I'm Grammy. Thanks for clicking on my video. Welcome into my grow tent where I'm always growing, always learning. Typically I'm growing cannabis in here, but I also do grow other things. Celosia. I got a little marigold going here. I had some sunflowers in the past. But yeah, the main thing is my cannabis plants that I'm learning to grow. So I've got 4 little seedlings down here. In my previous video, let me bring you in for a better look. My previous video, when we saw them, they were okay. The Alaskan Purple on the left there, the first time I'd watered it, I was a bit too aggressive and knocked it over. So I propped it up with some garden wire, and it was doing okay. It was growing strong, so I took the garden wire away. And then this morning I came out and the soil was dry and the poor little seedling was lying down on its side. So I panicked, got another wire support in there for it. Hopefully something for the stem to lean against so it'll stay upright. Got the soil watered. Yeah, hopefully she bounces back, but I don't know. My big bud, it was growing okay, but had a bit of a lean going to it. So same thing. I got the garden wire out and I made a little support to hold it up, but I think you can see that stem, it isn't even touching that wire anymore. It's just standing up on its own. So that's good. Nice strong seedling. The Remo Chemo is doing very well. Hasn't needed any support. And same for my Caramelino, which is a couple days older because the first seed did not sprout, but I threw a second one in and it did, and it's doing fine. So yeah, when these seedlings started out, I had them down on the floor under the light. So they were about 3.5 feet away from the light, and that caused them to stretch once they popped out of the ground. So they've got some real long leggy stems that, yeah, that's why they're a little weak and prone to falling over. So, but yeah, hopefully that Alaskan Purple didn't get damaged. Hopefully it'll bounce back, be standing up strong just like that big bud beside it. I think I'm probably a couple days away from transplanting them into a larger container. So just for reference, here's a typical plastic beverage cup. Most people are familiar with them. So you can see those little pots I'm using are about half the size of one of those cups. I've just, I think I picked these up at a dollar store, like 10 of them for $2 or something like that. But they're just easier to reuse than a plastic cup that I put holes in the bottom of. I'm more likely to throw that in the trash, whereas this I'll just clean out and use over and over and over again. So anyways, yeah, they're soon going to be outgrowing these little itty bitty pots. So I got some 1-gallon pots from my local grow store, so we'll be transplanting into them. Let's see. There you can see the size difference. It's quite the step up. There's going to be a lot of room for that taproot to go down. And yeah. So that's the next step. In a couple of days we'll transplant into the larger containers from the 1-gallon. And you can go into a 3-gallon next. And then from there, who knows. But what I'm hoping is to fill most of that 5x5 area with those 4 plants. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me. You can see they take up about a 1 foot footprint now, and yeah, I want them to take up 5x5. So we'll see how it goes over the next few months, but just deal with one thing at a time. So yeah, that's the update for today. I'll get the camera back on and we'll see how this Alaskan Purple is doing in a few days, and hopefully the others are doing well and don't need any support, and if I can prevent the soil from drying out, yeah, I can help them get to that next stage. So alright, we'll leave it there. I'll get the camera back on when it's time to transplant to the bigger pots. Just like that, it's 72 hours later. Day 14 now for these plants. A few days less for the Caramelino. I just saw something I wanted to share with you. I was watching Dude Grow's show, Grow Talk number 960. And in their conversations, Scotty Reel mentioned about having seedlings under the humidity dome, and saying that that can lead to the seedlings stretching. And yeah, it's good to really keep it vented open. Make sure there's plenty of airflow. He said about there being, or the excessive humidity, maybe not the best thing for the young seedlings when you're growing for seed. It's different when you're doing clones. But yeah, you know what? I'll leave a link down in the description, and yeah, I'll put it right to that time in the video so you can check that out for yourself. I found it pretty informative, just like every episode of Grow Talk. But, yeah, I was watching that and I thought that's kind of relevant to what I'm dealing with here with my little stretchy seedlings. So, yeah, for mine, I attributed it all to them being on the ground further away from the light, but maybe the humidity dome had something to do with it too. Who knows? Always learning. Anyways, as I mentioned, day 14 now, so I'm going to give them another spray of Overgrow. They haven't received any nutrients with their water yet. With the Remo nutrients, I'll be using those again. They've worked well for me in the past. So, I don't think they're ready for transplant quite yet. I see a few little, I think I see a few little roots near the bottom. Yeah. I'm going to give them a few more days, and I'll be certain that they're ready for it. Yeah, they're doing okay. You can see that Alaskan purple is standing upright again. It seems to be recovering from what it went through. Actually, before I spray it, I'll bring in the Alaskan purple. See, they're all nice leaves. That Alaskan purple, it's got a little something going on. Alright, you can see the yellow in the green leaf there. Kind of, well, not the taco shell effect completely, but it's curled up for sure. Compared to the other three, which are doing quite well. The marigold is also doing quite well. The conditions are the same for it as for the others, so yeah, I don't know. There might be issues down below the dirt just from the stresses that plant has gone through. But anyhow, yeah, I just wanted to show that before I completely cover them with Overgrow. Yeah. Celosia is still doing its thing slowly. It's an interesting plant, but yeah, it takes its time. Alright, anyhow, yeah, that's it for day 14. We'll get back in a few days and get to that transplanting. Right, it's 48 hours later now. Yeah, it's time. So, see, I've just got the pots filled, ready to go. The cavity in there, the size of the little pot. So, I'll just make it that much easier. I'm using a 50-50 mix of Fox Farm Happy Frog and Pro Mix HP soils. Yeah. The little seedlings were started in just Pro Mix HP because that was all I had on hand at the time. But from here on out, it will be that combination. I've had good results with that, with many plants in the past, so I'll give it a try again. So, anyways, yeah, I've got another 2 containers to fill with dirt, and then we'll start getting those seedlings into their next home. Alright, got the Remo Chemo transplanted. It was a bit tricky getting out of this little container. I was surprised. I thought it would just pop right out. Well, it was a bit of a struggle. So, doing the big bud now. I've already taken the time to loosen it. I don't know if the camera will see that or not. You can see some white roots just under that bit of soil that's come out. And then there we can see, hopefully. Definitely time for a larger container. So that's it. I don't know. I probably could have been more gentle, but hopefully it doesn't suffer too much. So yeah. And with that big bud, since it's stretched so much originally, you can see the first little, what are they called? Codlin leaves? Whatever. The ones that aren't real leaves. They're there. I've got several inches of stem. So I intentionally put this hole deep, and I'm going to fill the soil up higher to cover about an inch of that. Just give it a bit more stability. So yeah, I just wanted to get the camera on, show you that bit. Also, after I finish filling it, I'm going to water it, just like I've just watered that one. And for the first time, I've added something to the water for these plants. It's this bottle, some Pro Mix product I bought quite a while ago when I first started growing. Root booster. It's very high in phosphorus, so that's good to stimulate the root growth. So I thought, what the heck, I've got the bottle lying around. Might as well use it. Alright, anyways, I'll finish up and then get the camera back on again. One last thing, I guess, just to satisfy anybody's curiosity about the Alaskan purple and the discoloration on the leaves and its unhealthy start. There's the roots, so nothing terrible. Little root bound, I suppose, beginning to be. Pop her in her new home and hope for the best. Alright. Much nicer to hang out in here now. So, let me bring you in closer now that the work is done. You can see those plants. Pardon me. Those plants are much farther away from the light now. Probably 10, maybe 12 inches lower than they used to be, even on those plant stands. But, that's okay right now. Right after the transplant, I'll leave them further away so the light isn't as intense, and that will give them time to focus on root development, hopefully. They might look a bit weak and unhappy for a few days after transplant, but hopefully they come around soon and perk up and start growing some more, and then I'll move the lights down a bit closer when it gets to that point. yeah. For those of you that have stuck around this long, thank you. I hope it hasn't been too boring of a video. I guess one advantage you'll have over other viewers is that you'll know what's under that humidity dome. It's carrots. Yeah. So, anyhow, this has been a long video, so we'll save the carrot talk for another one. But, yeah, anyways, I'll have another video coming up soon. We'll probably start training these plants, maybe top them, and who knows what. But anyways, that's it for this one. Thanks a lot for watching.